Hello there, I'm Collector Steve. We all know about the current 6-inch Black Series figures and the vintage collection figures. Did you know that in the late 1990s, there was a larger scale of figures that you could buy? Welcome to Unboxing the Boxes, my Star Wars collection. This is episode 206, the small Star Wars figures of the 12-inch action collection of the late 1960s. During the years of 1996 through 2002, Hasbro and Kenner released a series of action figures that were a 12-inch scale, so big ones. This action collection included figures from the original trilogy and the new prequel series. Now, back in episode 21 and 25, I covered some of the 12-inch figures that I had collected already, including some with vehicles and some with big scale animals to go with them. Unfortunately, I did not show the shorter figures, the small guys that were still in the same scale, but of course being smaller, they're maybe only about 6 inches high, 5 or 6 inches, something like that. Well, I think it's time to cover those figures too. Now, before I do that, I do invite you to like this video, share it with your friends, and of course, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Maybe even hit that notifications bell so that you're notified when new videos come out. And I think, seeing that I missed it the last couple of videos, we should probably get back to having a trivia question. It does sound like some of you do enjoy having those questions. So today, the trivia question comes from a site known as BuzzFeed. And today's question is, where did Princess Leia get shot while trying to invade the bunker on Endor? Where did Princess Leia get shot while trying to invade the bunker on Endor? Might be an easy one for you. Might rattle your brain a little bit if you weren't paying attention very closely. Well, what do you say? We get started and look at those action figures. Well, like I said, these belong in the 12-inch scale figures, but they're shorter because they're smaller characters from the movie series. So the first one we're going to look at is from 1997, and that is a Jawa. And if you look at the Jawa closely, you can see it is pretty nice Jawa. Guess we're getting a little too much reflection there. Does come with a couple accessories. I think he comes with kind of a little backpack type accessory, and of course a rifle. And with this particular Jawa, he did have a button on the back so that his eyes would light up. Unfortunately, when I press the button now, the batteries are dead. After 20 plus years, I guess they didn't survive, which makes me think that, this is still original sealed, but I'm starting to think that maybe, just maybe, I should probably open this one up and take out the batteries before all of a sudden they ruin the figure. I'm thinking about it. One thing we see on the back of this one is that there was other figures, short figures of the series, and we'll see if I have all of these. So there we have it, the Jawa. By the way, as you notice, we do have a nice big window here to see the figure in. We even got a little bit at the top there to allow a little bit of light down into it. And we've got a picture of the Jawa, same picture on both sides. We've got the part of the series on the back. And even the bottom of the box contains a very nice picture of the Jawa with a little bit of an explanation to go along with it. So there we have it, the Jawa from the Action Collection. The next one we're going to cover is Wicket the Ewok. Now, I don't know about you, but when I look at this one, do you think that really looks like Wicket? I think it looks a little bit off. After all, if we look at the side there, he looks cute and cuddly. He looks old here, at least in my opinion he does. Once again, window at the top, nice big window at the front, and same picture of Ewok on the sides one more time. And if we look at the bottom, we do have a nice picture of the Ewok and Princess Leia. So kind of when they first got to know each other. Now, did you notice when I showed you the front of the box, this one still has a price sticker on it? Remember what it was? How much I paid for it? If you forgot, let me show you one more time. From the looks of it, the original price was $12.97. I paid $5 for it. Happened to hit the store at the right time to get that one. Once again, I wish I would have picked up more of them at that price nowadays. But who knew I'd still be collecting 25 years later. So let's put him off to the side here and move on to the next one. The next one in this series that I'm going to show you is R5-D4, one of our favorite droids from the original movie. And this one's a little bit heavier. This droid's got a little power to him, it feels like. But there again, very nicely done figure this time. That is a sharp-looking R5-D4. And to tell the truth, this is probably the largest R5-D4 that I have in my collection. Now, once again, we do have a nice picture of the droid on both sides. We got the window at the top again. And at the bottom, we have a great picture from the scene where Luke is checking him over before Uncle Owen decides to pick that droid to buy from the Jawas. So between the Jawa and R5-D4, we've got a good start on recreating that scene for ourselves. Now on the back, we are showing three of I think the 5 figures. Yeah, I think 5 figures in the short collection of these. And as you can see, we do have Wicket, we have R5-D4, but do we have R2-D2? Well, of course we do. And here we have R2-D2. And as we can see, this one is fully posable with a retractable leg, which is great to have on a figure. And once again, this is one of the larger R2-D2s that I have in my collection. If you remember quite a while back, I did show a radio-controlled R2-D2 that is bigger than this one. But this is probably the second largest of the R2-D2s that I have. On the sides again, same picture of R2-D2. And on the bottom, we have R2-D2 and Luke Skywalker on Dagobah. Even though that picture shows R2-D2 as a mess, this R2-D2 is nice and pristine. Now when we look at the back, we see we have R2-D2, we have a Jawa, and we have Yoda. Do I have Yoda? Unfortunately not. I was not able to find a Yoda at that time to finish out the short series of these 5. But maybe I'm going to have to check eBay or somewhere to see if I can still find a Yoda packaged up. There we have it, the 5 figures from this collection. But it's not all I have. I also have 3 of them from The Phantom Menace, Episode 1. So let's cover those next, shall we? Okay then, the first one from Episode 1, and you're going to notice when I show you the front of the box, all it says is Episode 1. So obviously, when Hasbro was printing the boxes here, they didn't know for sure what the title of the movie was going to be yet. Well, what do we have? It's the Pit Droids. And I do like the Pit Droids. They not only were comical relief, they gave us a different type of droid again to add to the collections. This one's a little different box from those. So not only do we have the nice big window in the front with Darth Maul on the front, we do have a bit of a window on the top. And instead of a picture of the droid on the side, we actually have a window from the side. So we're getting light in from 4 sides of the box now. On the bottom of the box, it does continue with a scene from the movie showing the Pit Droids at the pod race. So kind of nice there. And I like these. I like the Pit Droids. I'm kind of partial to droids. I do like the droids. And I know many of you out there like droids too. So of course, there's usually got to be enough Pit Droids to take care of your pod race, right? Or at least your pod racer. So, of course, I have 2. sets of Pit Droids to add to the collection. Now, when we look at the back of the box, we can see that it looks like there are 3 droids that are part of this collection, or 3 figures that are part of this collection. Do I have all 3? Well, let's find out, shall we? I do have another one here, and this one happens to be R2A6. So an R2 unit, a little bit different color scheme than we had with R2D2. Got a little bit of a greenish tinge to this one. Once again, window at the top, windows at the side, and of course, a picture of the scene that he's in from the movie. I like this droid. If we get it a little closer here, you can get a really good look. It is a sharp looking droid. And as you can see from the front there, it does have a metallicized dome on the top. So a little bit extra, I guess, than what we normally see. And do you see the sticker there? How much did I pay for that? Well, I picked this one up for $7.70 on clearance. Can you imagine getting a large figure like this for less than 10 bucks nowadays? Probably not going to happen. Okay, well, like I said, there were 3 shorter figures in this series. We had the Pit Droids, we've got R2A6, and of course, they're supposed to be young Anakin. Do I have young Anakin? Of course I do. Why would I not have young Anakin? Now in the box, young Anakin, as you can see, is kind of kneeling on one knee with his other knee out in front of him. If we get a little bit from the side there, you can see what his facial expression is like. It's a pretty decent look for Anakin, young Anakin. Window at the top, both sides, and once again, from the bottom, we have a nice portrait of Anakin Skywalker. So yes, I do have all 3 that are shown on the back for this particular portion of the series. Well, there we have them. Those are the 6 smaller figures that I have from the 12-inch action collection from the late 90s and early 2000s. Do you have these? Like I said, I've got to try to find Yoda now. Now that it's fresh in my mind that I'm missing Yoda, I probably should try to find him. See what kind of luck I have going on eBay or somewhere. I don't know if I'm going to find him anymore, if he's going to be reasonably priced. After all, these figures are 25 years old now. Well, those are only a little over 20 years old because they came out in the early 2000s. So, hey, all we can do is try, right? Well, that brings us to the end of the video. So once again, I invite you to like this video if you did enjoy it. Share it with your friends. Subscribe to the channel. And of course, hit that subscription bell so that you're notified when new videos come out. Okay, before we bring this video to an end, I suppose I should give you the answer to the trivia question, shouldn't I? Once again, the trivia question was, where did Princess Leia get shot while trying to invade the bunker on Endor? Where did Princess Leia get shot while trying to invade that bunker? Well, she got shot in the left shoulder. So if you guessed left shoulder, you are correct. Well, until next time, may the Force be with you and keep collecting.